Good morning. Good morning. Happy Freedom Day. Welcome to day 4 of 31 days of reflection, renewal, and reconnection with her by putting the pieces of her back together. I'm Lynette and Bradshaw. I'm your host. I come to you today on Freedom Day, and I'm so excited that today is about freedom because that's the theme of where we are right now. So if you are new here, I started this series because I am close to my 56th birthday. And what I normally do when it gets close to my birthday is I take time to step away from my normal and just sit back and reflect and get reconnected with myself and be able to deal with some things that may be coming up for me so that I can prepare myself to start a whole new year. And so I thought this year that I would bring you in with me. So if you're watching me here live or on the replay, say hello to me so I can shout you out. If you're watching on the replay, hashtag replay so I can come back and say hello to you. I believe that we all need to take time, whether we intentionally do it and set a time on the schedule to do it, but we all need to take that time to just spend with ourselves, to get quiet so that we can hear what our heart is saying to us, so that we can release some things because we can't hold on to everything, and then be open to what is new. So these 31 days during the month of July is really about empowering yourself and giving yourself permission to put yourself first, right? We put so many other things and other people before our needs, and sometimes we feel like we come up empty. And that's where the pieces begin to ravel. That's where we don't feel connected to our heart. We don't feel connected to our dreams. We forget what the vision is for our own lives, or we don't believe that we have the right to have a new vision for our lives because we put so many other people and things before us. So, again, I'm so excited that today is Freedom Day, celebrated all over the world, because that's where I am right now. Because yesterday we talked about what is the vision. We needed to write the vision and rework the plan until we get where we're wanting to be. And we don't have to try and plan out the rest of our lives, but where is the vision that we're going to today? So on Freedom Day, let's take a look at what freedom means to so many people. Some people just look at it, and I'm guilty of it, where we get a day off of work. We don't have to go to work. We can have the fireworks and the beautiful shows in the air. And we say that it's a celebration of freedom. But what if you haven't known what freedom is in your own life? What if you don't recognize what freedom is for you? And you're saying that you want to go in this direction in your life, you're wanting to have this, whether it's financial freedom, whether you want to feel like you're free from the things that you've endured, things that you've gone through, that you want to feel safe. But what if you don't know what that feels like? How can you celebrate freedom? For most of my life, I did not feel safe. I didn't have people in my life that made me feel safe when I was younger. I always felt like I had to fend for myself. And what did that do for me as a young adult and as an adult? I was always on guard. I was always in my defensive stance because I wasn't going to let anybody else hurt me. And because I'm in control of protecting myself, then this is the posture that I need to take. But it also made me feel stressed. It kept me in worry. It kept me feeling paranoid. It kept me feeling like somebody was always going to do something to me. And what does that look like? You show up as a victim. That's not freedom. You show up as a victim you speak as a victim. You think as a victim. You look around at the people coming in any type of connection with you, and you see yourself as a victim and woe is me. And so when we're deciding where we want to go in life, there are some things that we have to decide. What are we going to let go of? Again, we can't carry everything. And for these 15 minutes, the rest of these 15 minutes, I want you to really consider in your life, where do you not feel safe? Where do you not feel free? Let's go back to financial freedom. We all want to be financially free, financially independent, that we can pick up and go on a trip if we want to. But financial freedom also means being disciplined. Financial freedom means watching how you spend, looking at your money and not looking at it as it's in control. You're in control. So, where in your financial part of your life do you want to be free? And what do you need to change in regards to how you handle money, how you think about money, how you think about what you're worthy of, depend when it comes to money? Because again, if you don't know what freedom looks like, what you may be doing or how you may be living your life seems free. It's free enough, right? It's to you is what's called freedom. But as you are preparing yourself to shift from where you were and you are looking at your life and beginning to say, I want more freedom. There are some things that you're going to have to examine in your own life where you don't feel like a victim anymore to your past, but you don't feel so restricted and fearful that you don't think that you can walk forward. Freedom to me is a feeling of calm. Freedom to me is creating boundaries in my life. Where do you need to set boundaries and stand 10 toes down in those boundaries, regardless if the people around you understand? Where in your life do you need to start saying no when you've been a yes man, a yes woman? Do you really feel free in doing that? Because when you are saying yes to everything else, but you're feeling tired, you're feeling exhausted, you're feeling angry because you didn't say what you really wanted to say. When you begin to give yourself permission to say no when you need to say it, to say yes when you want to say it, to say no, I don't want to do that when you decide you don't want to do that. That's freedom. There's power in your choice. There's freedom in your choice. We give ourselves over to things and people, and then we're mad at them in a way or feeling resentment, but it's our choice. So if you can't do anything else for yourself today, anything else where you feel free, I want you to take the power of your choice and create boundaries, healthy boundaries in your life. If you don't know what those healthy boundaries are because you've never really known how to set them or you didn't believe that you deserved them, one of the things that helped me was going to counseling, because the things that stopped me from feeling free and stopped me from believing that I had permission to create boundaries was because the things I'd gone through in my past, I hadn't dealt with those things. I hadn't dealt with what made me not feel safe. I hadn't dealt with feeling rejected. I hadn't dealt with feeling abandoned. I hadn't dealt with being abused in different ways, physically, mentally, emotionally. And until you begin to deal with those things and draw out what the root is of why you don't feel free, why you don't feel safe, why you don't feel like you're worthy to make your own choices, to say yes or to say no or to say nothing. Even when you say nothing, it's still a decision. But how do you feel about those decisions? How do you feel about creating boundaries? And let me tell you something, boundaries don't always start with the people outside your home. They can start with the people that are closest to you. And you can also create boundaries with yourself. Because if you're wanting to be financially free, you're wanting to be physically healthy, there are things that you have to tell yourself you're not going to do, and you have to create a plan where you don't do those things. Because if you continue to do the things that don't make you feel safe, don't make you feel good about yourself, don't get you to where you're wanting to go, then you walk in a lack of discipline. And we somehow find a way to blame everyone else for the way that we feel because we haven't created self boundaries, right? Wow, today I need more than 15 minutes. Today, I need more than 15 minutes, but I'm going to honor what I said because, again, that's freedom to do what you say you're going to do when you say you're going to do it for you. That's a boundary. That's a healthy boundary. So, today, I want you to write down 4 things that would help you to feel free. today. Think about it not just around you, but physically, spiritually, mentally, emotionally, financially. Where are the areas that you want to feel free? Write down what's going to help you to feel free. Do you need to not spend money on today? Do you need to put money in savings? Do you need to stop emotionally spending? Do you need to stop emotionally eating? If you want to be physically fit, what do you need to do to be able to get there? What do you need to stop doing to help you to get there? When you write it down, you put it on paper. First, you get it out of your head, but when you put it on paper, then it becomes real to you. I don't know about you, but it does to me. When I write it down, it becomes real to me. Let's go back a little bit. Write down, what does it mean to you to be free? And what does freedom look like in your life? Then decide, where don't I feel free in my own life? And how does that make me feel to not feel free, to not feel safe, to not feel in control of my emotions, to not feel I'm good enough? Where does that show up in your life? And as you go through this process, begin to also write down, what am I going to feel when I'm in that place of freedom? How am I going to think when I'm in that place of freedom? How am I going to respond to life, to people, when I feel freedom? And this is not a one-time thing. Whenever you feel off balance, that's what I do. When I don't feel in balance or I don't feel steady, I have to go back to ask myself, do I feel safe? Because that's something that I didn't have for a long time. Do I feel safe? Do I feel free? And what do I need to do right now to help me to get into that place? All right. So thank you guys so much for joining me. It's day 4. I am less than 30 days from my birthday. I am doing the work, and I hope that you are too. Let me know in the comments if this resonates with you. And come back tomorrow and join me for 15 minutes. I'm going to put a little cream in your coffee before you start your day as you're celebrating this 4th of July. My hope and my prayer for you is that not only do you see the fireworks and the celebration today, and you see the day off from work, but you begin to really examine your heart to see, where do I need to feel free? And know that you are deserving to feel free. Do what you need to do today for you to start anew. I'll see you tomorrow at 6:45 right here on my Facebook or my YouTube channel. If you are watching this and I'm not here and you have a question, leave it below and I'll come back and speak to you about it, answer your question. But it's 7 o'clock. I got to honor my word. So we are out of here. Y'all have an amazing day, and I will see you tomorrow at 6:45. Bye.